Hey guys, this is Chris and Marty. We're here at CES, and we just discovered at the Epson booth here something called LyteShot, which is like next generation laser tag.
Yeah, so laser tag took a little nap for a while.
But way crazier.
This is insane.
And super more customizable.
Yeah, so this was a Kickstarter that launched at the beginning of CES. They were asking for, was it 168?
168K.
168K. If they hit it, they're going to launch this in around September. But it's sort of all based around this, which is called the lighter, which they said was inspired by a Wiimote. But the whole thing is to sort of take that Wii living room experience and take it outside.
Right.
So you have the lighter, and then you have the sensor.
Yeah.
That's ostensibly the gun and the target, but this can also act as a target.
Right, and so instead of having an actual, this should also be stated, these things all can fit into things like this, like a gun.
Yeah.
Or for certain games that you can play, you can get a wand attachment. Yeah. The other really cool thing that they're doing is, if they get funded, you can actually upload, you can download the specs and make your own stuff like this using 3D printing, so you can make your own guns.
But it's also just sort of that open nature goes beyond just the hardware itself. It goes into the software. They said they want to, so they have two games in mind, and one of them is kind of a traditional, laser tag, gun and target, and then another one is called Besiege, and it's more of a like a fantasy game where the wizard, in order to, so you can wear the glasses. So there's also glasses made by Epson, the Vivarios, and they have a HUD on them. And if you look up with the glasses, the HUD turns into sort of just like the player scoreboard. And then there's a little tracker on the bottom that says where your opponent is, how many feet away, in which direction.
It feels like virtual reality, like a virtual reality that kind of works. Like you shift fields of vision basically to look at it. Yeah. So you can look beyond your HUD and target your players. And then when you need information about the game, you look inside and you see your HUD. Yeah. And there's all kinds of cool things about it. You can kind of like track your motion and see where your target is going to be.
Yeah, and it was just really cool stuff too with, like, say if you're playing the game as the wizard, you don't just fire normally. You sort of, using the accelerometer, you have to actually conduct like a spell in certain directions in order to charge up that shot. And that just seems, sort of like a tip of the iceberg. Like if this becomes sort of open sourced and full of user generated content, all sorts of weird things that come around. And they were mentioning being able to use a lot of different devices as sort of accessories and weapons. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, I mean, it just could be really anything. I mean, you can create anything. They were talking about like a prototype potential of like having a bow where you use each of the sensors on both ends, and then how far you pull back will potentially send a virtual arrow.
Or being able to use a drone. Being able to use a drone in combat, like a drone you have, or like I wanted a Roomba with a gun attached to it, because I want to roll deep with a Roomba.
Yeah, so you can attach the sensor, which is called a puck, I believe. Yes. And you can take that puck and send it out into the world. There's going to be all kinds of applications, and it's open source, so people can create their own games. It's like, there's a lot of...
Yeah, this is exciting. Like,
there's a lot of community that could grow up around something like this. If it's
so many of us used to like play, either laser tags in our friend's basement or go to. Did you have Ultrazone?
Yeah.
You remember the UZ?
Hell yeah, because it's all blacklit, of course. You could make this all blacklit.
Yeah. Did you ever smooch a girl in a UZ?
I never did, man. Okay. I thought you were going to tell me an awesome story about you smooching a girl in the UV, and that sounds really, we're going to get away from that.
So we're going to get away from that. Yeah, but this is LyteShot. The Kickstarter is live now. Honestly, this is really cool. So I recommend it. This sounds cool to you. Check it out.
Yeah, so for more on this kind of stuff and everything CES, stay tuned to IGN.com.